Yanks of the round table. Game week 5. Game week 5 is upon us. As we sit here and record today, a lot of action happening all the way around. Lads, we got EFL Cup being played at the same time as fucking Champions League. 3 Champions League days this week. This whole season of a ton of matches is going to take some getting used to. But either way, we're not here to complain. The Premier League does not stop. It's coming up quick and fast, and some very big matches on the horizon. As usual, I'm joined today by Austin Forbes, Barca Boy 103, and Maxi Gaming here today to preview and predict 5 key matchups for Game Week 5 with some quickfire predictions at the very end. If you're brand new to the channel, do me a quick favor, like the video down below, subscribe to the channel. We are making these predictions on a weekly basis. All right. Now, we are keeping track of everybody's picks since week 1, right? Match week 1. We didn't do it for that one. We did predictions instead for the whole season. Go back on the channel, check that out. But we have been keeping track of everybody's picks since then, at least for the prominent matches. Let's check in. Let's see how everybody's doing. This is the standings as of today, lads. Hoffit still leads very narrowly. I would say, we're all, after Max's 0-5 start, we're all pretty neck and neck now. So
stop picking that up.
I got to mention it when I can, bro. I got to mention it when I can. It's going to go out of style at some point. It will, 100%.
No, Max needs to do a 5-0. Max needs to do a 5-0.
I'm going to go 5-0 and then.
Yeah, then shit on me, bro. I'll take it. 8-7 and Austin 7-8, so really close there. Honestly, bro, had there not been like a certain draw this past weekend, there could be a couple ties on this standings board. But we sit here, man. I do want to put some blame on Hoffit and Max because they did talk me off the ledge a little bit. I was gonna.
Nobody said.
I was gonna lean one way.
Actually, no. You're right. You're right. Hoffit said be different.
Yeah, he said be different. Yeah, as Hoffit.
Masterclass.
I was outwitted by Barcelona 103.
I'm like Nick Avocado. I'm always 2 steps ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but look, we're close. Some big games, and I think for some of us to play some catch up here, myself included. I gotta go with my gut. We'll see how these games pan out. The first match we are previewing for this week, I think, is an interesting one based on current form. We have West Ham taking on Chelsea at West Ham. West Ham having an interesting start. I did predict a draw against Fulham, but I think it was just me being safe and conservative. I kind of expected West Ham to show a little bit more in this game. It was at Fulham, so Craven Cottage is a tough place to play. I get it. And then we have Chelsea, right? Jadon Sancho somehow getting man of the match performance. After coming off the bench in that 1-0 win against Bournemouth. We all picked Bournemouth collectively to win that game, by the way. But here we stand, a big game in London. How do you guys see this one going?
I don't think Chelsea's beaten West Ham away in quite some time, but Chelsea. I feel like Chelsea's. I don't want to say they've been getting lucky, but I feel like they kind of been getting a little bit lucky with some of these results, and I think West Ham's kind of due a win here. I mean, this is. I'm going to say West Ham win here. I'm gonna give the home team a little bit of an edge, but it's I just don't know what to expect for Chelsea. Like if they some parts of the Bournemouth game, I was just like, how are they in this game? And then all of a sudden, one masterful player just takes over the game, and they ended up getting a 1-0 result. And then I'm not even talking about Mr. Sancho, but. It's I don't know. I don't know what to ever expect with Chelsea. I mean, they seem to always have their shit together, but I don't know. I don't know what to say about the Chelsea team.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned on the channel a lot about how difficult of a start the Wolves had to the season, but not much about, West Ham, where they played Villa away, Palace away, City at home, and Fulham away, and then now Chelsea. So they're having 4 points, it's for the summer that they had, the glazing that we gave them in the preseason prediction as well for the summer they had. And it's been quite tough for them. But like Max mentioned, I don't think they're due. I mean, they are due a win at this point because they're lacking behind a little bit for expectation. But this is going to be a difficult game because, Chelsea had the whole week off from the Bournemouth game, similar to West Ham as well. I don't think either of them play in the cup this week, if I'm not mistaken. I will double check that now. But it's a game where I think is very, very even. I will say this, though. Chelsea do have a number against West Ham always in the London Stadium, whether Chelsea are in peak form, lows of lows when they're finishing 10th and 12th and stuff. They tend to beat West Ham at the London Stadium, but now West Ham kind of, a newer team, a stronger team under, a good manager and Julian Lopetegui. I'm leaning towards this game more in a draw because I think the teams are more evenly matched, but I think it'll be difficult. I think it'll be difficult for either team to win this game, if I'm being honest. I think someone's gonna have to be just on the form of their life in this game to get a result. I think it's a really, really even contest, and I think it'll come down to a lot of 5 margins in this game.
Yeah, I think so too. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm kind of with Hafid, and he is right. None of those teams play this week, but like we expect West Ham to be better than they are right now. Now their start of the season has been tough, but it's like you feel like they can. I mean, they can definitely win this game. They're good enough. I mean, Fulkrug being out, we haven't really seen them with Fulkrug, and I think we all felt like he would easily help them. I think the question is always, what is Chelsea going to go with up top? Like, could we see Nkunku, Sancho, Palmer, and Madueke together? Is Nico Jackson still in there? Like, we just don't know. I just feel like with Chelsea's talent that they can win this game, but it is away, so I'm a little unsure, but I think we're going to go Chelsea.
Did Jadon Sancho do enough to start now over either Neto or Madueke in this game?
Probably the PR's on his side right now with the man of the match, so I think he'll probably start. But
Maybe
take over Neto.
I heard Neto had a stinker, so
it wasn't great. He got pulled off like right after half. Literally.
I was gonna say he got pulled off like literally right after halftime. So I mean, did he earn enough to start? I mean,
assist man of the match trophy.
Maybe, but I guess because I mean, if they're not Neto and you're not going to start Mudryk, I guess you're not going to start Joao Felix. But what about Nkunku? Is Nkunku going to play? Are you going to take out Nicholas Jackson and start Nkunku up top, or are you going to put Nkunku on the wing? Like I don't think Nkunku
will play on the wing. He'll play at striker or in the spot behind him. But since Palmer's there, that's going to be unlikely, right? So
then I mean,
could move. We could do Palmer on the right, Nkunku in the middle, Jackson up front, and then Sancho on the left, and then drop Madueke. But
why would you? But I mean, Madueke didn't. I thought he played pretty well again.
He was decent. Yeah. He was definitely better than that, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think they're going to drop Madueke because he's been one of their better players this season so far. So it's just a question of like who would you go with up top? And I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. It could be Nkunku. I don't know.
It could be Nkunku.
Yeah, he got the goal, right? I mean, who knows? Enzo could just play right into that and just play the 2 players that were in form from the last game. I still think Robert Sanchez should have won man of the match considering he saved the PK.
Good save as well.
Yeah, great save. And so, like, I don't know. In my opinion, like, you could debate on who deserved man of the match more than anything else, but Sancho got it. The PR is there. He'll probably start. I'm probably going to back. I'm probably going to back West Ham. And I keep thinking back to the Chelsea draw at home against Palace, and I feel like the game will go that way. I think right now, West Ham maybe has collectively just a little more talent than Palace to get it over the line. I'm going to take West Ham at home. Like a 2-1.
Also, is Gusto's not going to play for this game, right?
No. Disasi ended up, like you said, Max, Disasi ended up starting.
But he didn't play. He didn't play well.
No, did not play well. Reece James, by the way,
is out for longer.
Another setback to his injury. Dude.
Man, just a Jack Wilshere in disguise at this point.
Bro, like, what is going on?
Yeah,
like, I don't. That's your captain. Like, I don't know, man.
I feel bad.
I would ship the captaincy off him. Because
I think Emerson's still supposed to be out, but they said I did read his injury's not as serious, but I think he's still supposed to be out, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Ooh, wait. I forgot. I want Sancho to start. Wan-Bissaka versus Sancho. Give me that.
That's another point, by the way. Yeah, that's another point.
Give me that.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Give me that.
Yeah,
I think Wan-Bissaka can lock down any winger.
I really think he can.
Yeah. He can.
Yeah.
He's good.
And then we'll see. We'll see if the hype around Sancho really lives up to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who you guys have. I'm back in West Ham. That's my pick.
I have West Ham.
I have Chelsea.
I have a draw.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, sir.
I was waiting to see who's going to pick draw first. Okay, so we'll see how it all goes. Now, keep in mind, right? Chelsea for this game missing potentially Enzo Fernandez. Apparently, he's ill. Bro, when the hell are we going to see Dewsbury Hall? Like,
He's
Never.
hurt.
I forgot that dude existed. Like that, or that he even
I
signed
know.
for Chelsea.
I
You know,
don't. I don't think you're going to see him a lot in the
Cheeky
cup.
loan back to Leicester in January. You never know.
You
I
never
would take
know.
him.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would.
Yeah, he absolutely
Nah,
would.
you know what, Dino.
Absolutely
Look
would.
are Leicester in the
I'm not saying
relegation?
no.
Not.
Listen,
Yeah, bro. But Malo Gusto, Reece James, Lavia, all these guys are out still. So we'll see how it pans out. I think especially if Fulkrug's injury is not serious and he is back in some capacity this weekend, hopefully there's something there for West Ham. So we got our picks. Let's move on to Fulham hosting Newcastle. We just talked about the West Ham draw at Fulham, and then we have Newcastle looking like 2 seasons ago. Newcastle, at least at the moment.
They're scraping by a little bit though. No,
Their schedule favors them heavily. I will say that when you actually go back and see who they played,
Europe.
yeah, no Europe. This is it's almost kind of tailor made for Newcastle right now.
Yeah, but like Hafiz said, and I've been saying, like they barely gotten by these teams though.
Look at all their games. They 1-0 scrappy win against Southampton, 1-1 draw with Bournemouth, 2-1 against Tottenham, then 2-1 against Wolves. Like I've yet to see them. Even when I've seen from like people reacting from on Twitter, they're not dominating games. They're being effective though. Against Wolves, they were 1-0 down. 2 fantastic goals to get back in the game. 2 bangers as well, if I believe. I remember seeing the Harvey Barnes goal.
Harvey Barnes was a banger.
Yeah.
We can do that.
And saying the Spurs game, I think I feel like they got a little bit lucky. Spurs were completely dominating that game.
Yeah.
Then Spurs do what Spurs do.
But is Fulham a good enough opponent? I don't know, because we saw them not finish their chances against West Ham the past weekend, and of course conceding in the last second as well. It is at Craven Cottage, so they can back on maybe the atmosphere being on their side. But I think this is a game where Newcastle should be winning. They're I think a level above Fulham. Like I mentioned, Fulham's kind of like in that 11th to 7th place alongside West Ham and Aston Villa and stuff like that. I think Newcastle is a step above. Maybe Villa is as well. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh there. So I think for Newcastle, this would be an important win for them again because they're keeping up the momentum. They're undefeated. So 4-1 if they do win this game, for instance, would be a great start to their season after 5 games as well. So I think they'd be looking to win this game, but I think Fulham can definitely cause damage if they are clinical. I think if they were. What we saw in the last game is that they missed a lot of chances, especially in that second half as well. I think Iwobi missed a chance. That striker was his name, Munez, missed a few.
Yeah. He has yet to start get going yet because his form at the end of last season was amazing, and he won
the player of the month, didn't he, last season? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it'll come down more so to Fulham's effectiveness rather than the passes of play.
Yeah, and that's fair. I do agree with you. Newcastle should be a level above Fulham. They should. Like that should be how it goes. I just like the Craven Cottage factor, and like sometimes these individual players for Fulham just being able to step up in games like this and moments like this. Like Emil Smith-Rowe has yet to play a full 90. I think he's getting there. I honestly, bro, it kind of pains me to see Reece Nelson on the bench a little bit. I'd like to see him involved a little bit more. The Halen boys, but outside of that, I feel like between Munez and even Raul Jimenez, who's finally gotten on the score sheet as well. Now talking about the Preston upset, right, in the EFL Cup, or today actually, right, the 31 penalty kicks that happened.
They did play midweek as well, as I'm going to take into account where Newcastle I don't think have.
But does that not piss you off, right? Is there not some of that plays into it this week where it's like, dude, we need to give the fans a reason to have goldfish memory with what happened this week and get some kind of a result against Newcastle?
I think it depends on like who they played, because they could have played backups and not really would care. So
no,
for the Preston game today.
I mean, for Fulham.
I mean, I'm looking at their lineup now. A lot of I would say some regulars played, but again, looking who came off the bench. Smith-Rowe came off the bench. Iwobi, Jimenez, players that will play regularly. So I think that even playing midweek, training and being in the squad and whatever the case may be, taking out the effectiveness as well. It is going to be 3 games in a row at Craven Cottage as well. So maybe the momentum is going to die out in their last game as well. But I think Newcastle having a week off is huge as well. We talked a lot about this in the first game of the season. Them not having Europe this season is going to be a big asset to them. And we could see that in this game.
Yeah.
It also depends on who's playing, right? Like, is Isak even back yet?
He's back. He's been playing.
Okay.
He's been playing.
I wasn't sure. He's always so injury prone that I never really know if he's playing in any given week. And of course, their back line, they're making it work, right? They're making do until January, I guess, with the makeshift back line that they have. that also makes me a little bit encouraged. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna pick. This is probably my draw of the week. I'm gonna pick a draw between Fulham and Newcastle.
I think the question for me in this game is going to be Adama versus Lewis Hall. Is Adama going to actually rinse and cook him or not?
Well,
when has he ever absolutely rinsed and cooked anybody?
Oh, my boy Adama does it all the time. Come on,
Adama can cook, but like, is he gonna have the clinical finishing?
Oh, definitely not.
I'll ask you a question. When has he ever had that?
When has he ever had that? Like,
he's never had that. But he cooks.
He'll cook you. He'll cook you down the wing, but like, I ain't worried once he gets to the box.
just pass it to someone else, you know.
Fair. Although, remember those? How about you remember? Like when we brought him on loan at Barca, and he had that like 2-month spell where people were calling him a world beater. Bro,
remember in that 2 months where he was fantastic, he had like 6-7 assists, but he had 0 goals. Man could not finish.
Know your strength, bro.
He was so upset when he found out that he was not going back to Barca.
Bro, I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Here are my books.
Yeah, he had like that world beater assist for him, bro. That I just came out of nowhere. It surprised me. And then I feel like he goes back to the Prem or goes back to England, and it's just more of the same. So. Look, I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. I don't feel like either one of these teams get over the line.
I'm going to go with Newcastle simply the fact they had a week off. I'm really banking on that, if I'm being honest.
I'm going with Newcastle, mainly to the fact that they just somehow, some way, been scraping these wins, despite not playing at the level that we know that they can play at. And
they can scrape wins and play well, but the issue is they're not
they're not
very fluid.
They're not. Yeah, exactly. But
to be fair, the only Newcastle game I did watch was the one against Spurs. And again, they look scared, conservative, and hopefully they maybe open a bit of the floodgates in this game. I thought they would against Wolves, which according to the highlights that I've seen, they didn't really do that too much until the second half where they were trailing. Yeah. So again, I think just the week off and them being more fresh and them being on good form this season, I think they'll get the job done.
Austin?
Yeah.
I think Newcastle's going to win late because I think that's Fulham's biggest issue is giving up goals really late. They seem to do that about every game, so I think Newcastle's going to do that.
Yeah. Maybe they learn, but we'll see if Marco Silva's driving that point home with this team. We'll figure it out. But there it is. We have our picks. Let's move on to Austin's lads. Leicester City hosting Everton. And one of these teams, hopefully gets the first 3-point game of the season. If this is a draw, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I'll be honest.
I'm gonna be losing my shit.
Let me start off by saying that I am gonna be taking a draw for this game.
Oh, come on. No shot, bro. Back Sean Dyche the way you've been backing him with your chest all fucking season so far.
Hell no. Give me that 1-1 draw.
If I could listen, if I could do it in the edits, we'll click back. If I could do this in the edits afterward, I might. I'm not sure yet. If I could show how hyped Hoppin was when Everton went up 2-0 and then immediately brought back down to fucking earth by how shit that team is, bro.
I was fuming, man. I thought my boy Dyche did something magical. Oh my God. You know what? I've said that
they did it twice in a row.
But I also was like, Everton just got their ass kicked in the 90th minute. They will probably come take it to Villa, and I was right for a good amount. So I was there.
That's why I was in the group chat. I said in the video, Everton were gonna win. That's why I was in the group chat, like, oh look, I told you so. And they balled it again.
Bro, it's crazy. I don't blame Sean Dyche at all, by the way. This is legitimately just the team he has right now. Like, dude, I think the what was it? Was it the first goal where it came off of Jack? And it landed right at the first goal that Villa scored. It landed right at Watkins' feet.
Yeah.
To me, that just encompasses Everton. Like,
look at the opportunities Everton missed as well. Luke, was Harrison? That's his name. Luke. His first name's Luke.
No, Jack.
Jack Harrison. He missed a good chance early on as well. So, I think it's Leicester's game to win. Like I've said a lot about Leicester, even when Austin is not here. That I think they've done a lot better than what people expect so far this season in terms of the result they're getting. And of course, they've had, somewhat of a, not the easiest and balanced start to the season. I backed them to, get the draw against Crystal Palace earlier on as well. I thought they would do fairly well against Spurs. So this is their game to win. They've had some good draws, fair losses to, maybe better teams. This is their moment now to really, it's not only get a win for their instill confidence in their players, but also in the fans as well. We know how strong the King Power Stadium can be. It's one of the biggest stadiums in the Premier League, despite Leicester's stature as well. So this is for me the game. He's pessimistic. That's why.
I know, bro. I'm right there with you, bro.
I think this should be the game where Leicester win. They should be winning this game.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna say this is the game that Sean Dyche needs to win, or he's gonna get.
Well, he needs to win anything at this point. He's got 4 losses.
Bro,
I know,
but
this game is probably the last straw if they don't.
I'm telling you right now, Everton are not sacking Dyche.
They are going to sack him.
Nah.
They're gonna find a scapegoat. That's just what happens.
For what? They bring back David Moyes? Come on.
Hey, bro.
I'll tell you right now. Southgate is a prick. He will not take this job. He thinks he's bigger than Everton.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that.
I
don't think Southgate is bigger than Everton. I think this is his level.
I agree with him thinking that. Like when you said that he believes that, I totally believe that he believes that.
He should go back to reality. He's a very big man.
Some like romanticism with David Moyes just waiting in the wind, like for a call. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's something there.
Don't sack my
I agree with Max. They need a scapegoat. They need to blame somebody.
If they sack Dyche will be a hot commodity when someone else, like in the relegation zone, sacks someone, and then he comes in and saves the day. We will be there.
If it's Leicester, bro, that shit would be crazy.
I'm telling you right now, Dyche is not getting relegated this season. I don't care who's at Everton, Nottingham, Leicester. Don't care.
He'll get fired before he gets relegated.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Depending on how this game goes, Jamie Vardy could end the weekend as like the number 2 or number 3 in the top scorer race, by the way. Just saying.
How many has that? 2? 3?
He's got 2. 3 is the second place spot behind Holland's 9. So, yeah, it's fucking insane. I say second as like it being its own prize because no one's catching that robot Holland. So, I don't know, bro. Can you imagine? Leicester City having
back up for Jamie Vardy party. People doubted me.
Bro.
I'm telling you, man.
Well, he's only I think 12 goals away from being top 10 all time.
Yeah, I believe
it. End of the season, I believe in him.
Yeah, I believe it, 100%, bro. But either way, bro, he could come out and like I don't even think like something crazy like a brace or maybe even who knows, maybe even a hat trick against Everton wouldn't be off the cards. Like I guess he's already doing something here. So who knows? We'll look out for it.
I actually don't know what I'm going to predict for this game.
It's a tough one. Both teams need this.
Both teams need it, but I'm going to just pick Everton. Just for the fact that
I like Max. He's very ballsy.
Yeah, bro. I was like, that's kind of a risky pick, no?
Very risky.
It's risky pick, but I mean, at this point, either pick is a 50-50. Like both teams have yet to win a game. Yeah, you can lean more towards the home team, but because Leicester could obviously feel like could definitely be their first win back in the Prem against a very terrible defensive side of Everton. But Everton it's not like Everton has been playing completely bad. It's just
they've outscored some teams. It's just they capitulate like nobody's business, bro. It's
just like it's like when it's the 87th minute comes, like, let's just leave everything open. And
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, I think this is just a game that they just have to win. Like I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it'd just be way too embarrassing for them to go 0-5 yet, and then also be the 5th loss in a row to a newly relegated side. So that's just my thinking. I mean, it can go either way, but if I had to, I mean, I probably will bet on this game, and the odds would probably tell me to pick Everton. So,
bro, that's crazy. That's insane.
I'm either going Leicester win or draw. I'm not picking Everton.
I don't think this game's gonna end in a draw.
If it ends in I'm telling you, if it's in a draw, I'll be so pissed, bro. I'll be so
one
mad.
Of these. Well, this is the game where one of the teams is going to get 3 points. It just looks like one of the teams are going to come out with 3 points.
Give me Leicester City, bro. Give me Leicester City. I back that. Give me Leicester City.
Well, I will say Everton's played midweek. They lost. Shocking. But
shocking.
To Southampton. So
okay. Well,
but
better.
I think they've been capitulating at the end of the games. Other than the Palace game, we've been better at the end of games than we have in the first half.
Dyche played Dwight McNeil left back today. Fucking hell. What is this world come to? Sorry for nothing awesome, but like I had to say something.
I mean, we've had really good stretches of games, and we've had I don't think we had terrible subs in the Palace games. I think that kind of screwed us with some of the subs. I mean, we subbed on Cody, gave away the pin. But obviously I'm going to pick us to win. I think this is a game we have to win. we have like 5 games against the pretty much bottom half of the table, and we got to start getting points and start getting a little bit of distance in our safety. But I do think we will win.
I'll tell you what, man. Dwight McNeil left back threw me off, so I'm gonna go with Leicester win.
He's not playing left back on Saturday though.
He played midweek, which means Deitch is desperate. So I'm going Leicester.
Damn,
I think. Wait, hold on. Wait, actually,
good.
time out. Wait, let me. Who's hurt? Someone's hurt on that team. I completely
For Everton?
forgot. Yeah.
Well, Ashley Young got subbed in.
I think someone's hurt.
The Ukrainian guy. What's his name?
He can't start midweek matches. You have to rotate. Is
What's
Seamus Coleman still? Is he injured?
I don't know. What's the Ukrainian guy's name?
He didn't. He wasn't in the squad.
Mikalenko. I think he's hurt.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. My prediction is going to be Leicester, but I would love an Everton to win. I know.
I was about to say, damn, it's crazy how fast I'm still off the Everton train. That's insane.
Because I think if this is at
very
Goodison,
much Cooper out if we lose this game.
if this is at Goodison, I honestly would back Everton. But they like Austin mentioned, they played midweek. They're gonna be a bit tired, like I mentioned with Fulham as well. So I'll keep it consistent. It's at the King Power Stadium, so I'll go with Leicester.
All right.
Leicester, I don't think Everton will.
Is everyone on Leicester?
Everyone's on Leicester train except for Max. Max, be different, bro. Be different. Yeah.
I want to be different. I truly think Everton's going to win this game.
And lads, he's gonna let us hear it in the fucking chat.
I mean, if he does, I'll be there with him.
No, shut the fuck up. No way. No.
It's like Cobb is like, if Leicester win. If Bush wins,
win. You think that's my strategy? Wait till we get to the final match.
No, you did this last week with the Northland Derby. You can't do this shit. You can't do this.
Hey, game's game.
No.
Oh, by the way, I got all the way to the Spurs bar, and they were like, "You don't have a Spurs jersey on. You can't come in." I said, okay.
"No shot, really?"
Yeah. I kind of wanted to go in though, so I wasn't gonna be disrespectful. But I was like,
you know what? I respect that because I hate seeing away fans in home stadium. It triggers the life out of me, so I respect.
But he's a neutral. It's not like he's walking in there with an Arsenal kit. That's different.
Yeah,
maybe they don't know. Maybe he's got an Arsenal tattoo that he's hiding. I mean,
I almost said so much disrespectful shit about Spurs, but I was like, my friends are in there. I'm trying to get in. I'll just hold back. But yeah, no, I didn't get in. So
I understand my point as a neutral. And I respect the decision.
Huh?
What'd you do? Where'd you go?
Oh, I just went to I went to this place called Legends. I don't know if you ever been there when you were in New York.
No, I've heard.
Oh yeah, that's a really good place.
Yeah.
I know. Well, at least you got to watch it somewhere because like that, bro.
Yeah, I didn't really care.
I mean, it is what it is. And I'm sure
I got some breakfast.
In New York, there's a bunch of spots. So
yeah. I was chilling. I don't really care.
I
took engagement photos after anyway, so I had to be in the city.
Fair enough. All right, we got 3 Leicesters and 1 Everton. We'll see how this one pans out. Moving on to Palace hosting United. It's gonna be a good one. I think it's gonna be a really good one.
7-0. Are you taking that into account?
Yeah, bro. United feeling themselves after that 7-0 drubbing of Barnsley. And
guys, it's not just 7-0. Anthony fucking scored.
Oh,
it was a penalty, though, right?
And haters will say it was a penalty and Barnsley. Anthony fucking drew a penalty and scored. He grabbed the ball, went to the spot, and scored. Let's be serious here.
Is that his second or his third goal?
I think it's his fourth.
Fourth?
I mean, for United?
Yeah, for United, right? How many goals he scored? I think actually in total it might be like 6 or something.
Maybe
I saw
maybe a little bit, but in total, yeah.
Give him 2
in total,
seconds.
yeah, it might. But no, this is gonna be a good game. We haven't beaten them at Selhurst Park in like 4 years. To this weekend will be completely different. We will win. Rashford's back. Casemiro's in the form.
This Rashford stuff.
Ugarte's here.
A crappy cross against Southampton, then a goal against Barnes, and you're telling me Rashford's back? Come on.
By the way, I thought this was pretty funny. Just to throw that out there really quick.
Anthony has 12 goals. United.
But anyway, I agree. Look, the Rashford thing. So let me ask you. I saw Max tweet inform Rashford.
Inform Rashford. I said, yeah. Inform Rashford. I
feel bad for
with the eyes though, like with the eyes. Just like it's like, don't let him get back and forth. Inform Rashford.
That first, I'll be honest. The first finish was like
finish was clinical Rashford. Like that's what we want to see from him. Now, will he continue that? Only time will tell. I think I will say this week and him scoring pretty much 3 goals this week will definitely help him his mental, which is beautiful for us. But I mean, truly, I don't think Crystal Palace is. We all predicted them to be at least top half of the table, and so far they are one of the worst teams.
You're forgetting one big factor though. Chad Riaz to start this weekend, so you're pretty.
Oh my god! I'm not doing this.
I know we're not doing this shit, bro. Like every week, it's like Johnny Riyad.
Listen, I'll say my prediction first.
He's not starting for a reason.
I had this in mind from the get-go. I'm going with the fattest draw ever in this game. Like Max mentioned earlier on, Man United, I don't know what is up with them. They just cannot hack it at Selhurst Park. I don't know. Is this an evening kickoff as well?
Yeah, it's 12:30.
Yeah, 12:30.
So yeah, so it'll be dark in England, right? Yeah, they're cooked. Yeah.
Just on that factor
dark
alone.
Selhurst Park. It's dark Selhurst Park.
Yeah, because everyone's gonna be watching the game.
Yeah, it will be one we're honing in on, and I think also too from Palace's perspective. I know past the Chatty Riyad hype. I will say that Eze, these are the games Eze needs to be like extremely relevant in.
Yeah,
like he has to find a way to take over. He's seeing his ex-teammate, his boy Olise, almost put up a hat trick in Champions League. Like, bro, if you want to be there at that level at some point in your career, and you're already in your mid-20s, if you want to be there at some point, these are the games where you show up. It has to happen.
Like I mentioned this summer, there's no team out there that even needs Eze. Like I can go through each of the top 10 teams. They have 2 decent attacking midfielders. I think that's more Eze's issue than his ability. Is that teams don't need him. Even with, I mentioned this a lot on my channel over the summer with Danny Olmo.
Spurs.
The only reason that Barcelona were really keen on him or that no other elite team needs an attacking midfielder. You could maybe argue.
Hey, see, you that's the key word, elite. Yeah, that's Spurs.
Well,
I mean,
I'm dead.
But Spurs have James Madison. So they're going to come in and be.
But that's only one.
And you have to rotate.
Yeah. But that's only one. They don't have any other playmaker.
A player like
team.
Eze would want someone to, like for example, for Fulham. So the Fulham, they have the Smith Rowe starting. Then behind them is Fulham legend Tom Kearney, the captain, right? A player who's reliable off the bench. That's who Eze would want as his competition, not someone like a James Madison where he'll be second fiddle until at least Madison gets injured. So stuff. I think that has more to do.
But honestly, Eze can play over Brendan Johnson. He can play on the right. Like he doesn't have to.
Bro, Johnson's so overrated. He's so.
He deactivated his IG over the weekend as well. He's getting pelted.
Yeah, because he's getting.
Bro, because he's trash. What a waste of 50 million. A complete waste of 50 million. Like,
and we ain't talking about that.
Premier League tax is just fucking nuts, man. I cannot deal with this.
And
can't see it going to Saudi for 10 million must be one of the steals of the century.
This is a little off topic, but at some point we got to talk about Darwin Nunez not playing at all.
Oh, yeah.
My Uruguayan friends are killing this man. I mean, he's just been pure shite for Liverpool.
Did he play? I didn't see the game against Milan today a lot. Did he play?
No,
at all? I don't think he played. I don't think he played.
I don't even think he's subbed in.
I don't think he's subbed in at all.
Barcelona bullet dodge though.
Yeah, true. Or what I would say is or finesse. I mean, all it means is like teams who were circling before Barcelona, even Arsenal. I think getting him at a cut rate deal now, not having to spend 90 to 100 million, is not a bad option. I think he will come good at some point. He's just still very raw. That's how I feel about Nunez.
He did sub in today.
Okay, so he played a little bit, and I don't know how he performed. How many minutes did he get?
Probably 10.
I can't tell right now.
Yeah, probably not that many. And so, look, I mean, putting all that aside, I think with Eze, I think some of it is him. He's kind of like Osimhen for me in the sense that there's a reason these elite clubs or these big clubs just aren't knocking on Palace's door to inquire about Eze. Why Olise went first. It's like, I don't know, man.
Look at the teams that are interested in Olise. United, Arsenal, Bayern. So he's got to pick him and choose, and he knows he can go there, challenge. Arsenal needs depth for Saka. United have basically no wing. Now, of course, Ahmed is playing well.
But you don't think Eze could be a backup for one of these elite clubs?
He could, but a backup.
I don't think he wants to leave Palace to be a backup.
That, and also how much a Palace would ask for. English player, Premier League, the tax on that's going to be fucking nuts. 60 million for a backup.
Yeah, you don't want to be split.
If he's available for 30, for example, maybe he has a year left on his deal. That's a good market opportunity. But for his price now,
I bet you City would pay that though, like 50 million for a backup.
Yeah,
they did with Matthias Nunez. What was it, 2 seasons?
Bro, they're barely playing Foden.
I know, bro, but I could see City doing that just to make other teams weaker. Be like, fuck it, we'll take Eze. You know what I mean? Like I could just see it.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, I think this game specifically, he has to show up. If he doesn't, I'm not saying it's fraud watch by any means. I just feel like maybe he's not a big game player. Not because it has to come against United. I just feel like even since last season, he kind of shows out in the games he's supposed to win, and in the matches where he really needs to step up, he kind of does too much, and by extension of that, doesn't really have the impact that everyone's looking for. So I don't know. Palace needs to have a good game against United because United will be feeling themselves, bro. 3-0 away at Southampton, a 7-0 drubbing of Barnsley, 10 goals in the span of a week. And now they get to go to Selhurst Park.
Come on now, Barnsley, like what, third division Premier League, the Southampton last place.
But for a team who needed confidence, and for individual players who needed confidence, against Southampton, who needed goals, right? Delete coming off of a horrible international break, needed goals, got the goal. Rashford needed a score, got a goal, and now he gets another one against Barnsley, another two, right? 2 against Barnsley.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you don't want to see some of those playmakers if you're Crystal Palace start to get momentum because it just means that you have to deal with it. So I don't know. I think it's going to be close. I don't want to pick a draw again. Max, how do you feel about this one realistically, bro?
I realistically think we'll beat Palace. I think
Palace did play today. I should mention that real quick.
So did United.
They had a strong team as well. Like Gay started, then LaCroix, Eze, Mateta, Eddie Nketiah started as well. Lerma, Richards, Mitchell, Nunez, Henderson. Basically, their strongest teams.
We didn't really start as many. We made 8 changes today. I mean Bruno and others came off the
today
bench
too, by the way.
Yeah. So I mean, I truly think that we're going into this game with a lot of momentum. We're sitting high. Palace has not played well so far. Yes, it's Selhurst Park, but I think where we are right now, I think we should be able to beat. We are 2 levels above Palace. This is a game that we have to win, whether or not other factors happen. This is a game that we need to win. Like we're levels above Palace, so I truly think we're gonna win.
Ooh. I don't know, man. This was
but I think that's the games that United doesn't show up in the games.
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
Like I mentioned, I'm going to go with the draw, and I'm also going to predict Mateta goal. So I'm going for my third goal scorer in a row. And I think I'm going to be right, to be honest. I think Max is a bit of, bias for his team, which, again, is valid. As you can see from their United's record, they don't, tend to draw games, but I think this is going to be the breaker.
Yeah. Dude, this is so tough. Austin, what are you doing to this one?
I'm going draw too. I think it'll be like 1-1.
Now, do I hedge my bet?
I 1-1 Mateta goal, Austin.
I will say, like Hoffman said before, I don't think Palace is going to win. I think it's either a United win or a draw. So
y'all don't know United at Selhurst Park. It's different. They're going to wear that. Their second kid this year, Max, is white. No, or is it that?
No, it's the blue. It's the blue kit.
The blue
our third kit's the Egyptian looking kit.
Yes, they're probably gonna wear that as the first 2 kits are gonna be a bit of a kick clash. So in the white kit as well, it's just set up for failure at that point. Let's be honest.
Okay, I'm going to go. Honestly, bro, probably the same fucking result. It's not sexy, but it is what it is. But I will say this: not Mateta scoring. It will be Nketiah. Nketiah to dagger United Hearts one more time.
I'm going to
go Palace draw.
I think Bruno's going to score a pin first.
So 3 draws and a United win?
3 draws and a United win. That's how it looks. All right.
This could be a great week for me. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You guys are.
The 5-0 is coming. The 5-0 is coming.
The 5-0 is coming.
Catch up.
This could be a great week for
further
me.
out.
Yeah, it's one of 2 ways here. Yeah, we'll find out. But I think
I would love Max to go 5-0 this week. That would be hilarious.
Well, hey, look, the 5-0 contingents upon this last game. City hosting Arsenal at the Etihad. And we'll see if Max's bias.
I'm not. Hey, listen, I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not trying to be biased, but you ain't beating City.
Look,
at least. I mean, this game could easily be a draw because that's typically how it's the last.
That's what it was last season. Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Fuck City. I mean, like Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Like Holland's like I was like I think maybe it was I wasn't the only one, but I was like. Holland might regress this year a little bit. I don't know. I mean, he might be tired or
he's got 9.
Yeah, this motherfucker got 9 goals in like 4 games.
He's back. He's definitely back. Yeah,
in
full form.
I think Rodri's gonna make his first start this weekend, right?
He should be.
Probably.
He should be back.
Great time for him to start against
If he
Arsenal.
doesn't go on strike.
If he doesn't go on strike, as
Right.
he's alluded to this past week with all the games and whatnot.
Declan Rice gonna be back for this game after his suspension. So
Declan
Rice
will be
should
back. And the
Both
question
teams-
mark is Odegaard still going to be back? That's
No,
Probably
I-
not. Probably
I don't
not.
think so.
We'll see. I think if he does come back, it will be off the bench, and it'll be because we need a goal. I don't expect him back for Atalanta on Thursday. I think if he does, like I said, come back, he's holding out for City. But I wouldn't risk it. Even this early in the season, we have plenty of games left. We have City one more time. I just don't. I don't see the point in risking Odegaard if we don't have to. So
I will say this: Arsenal traveling away to Italy on Thursday, where City are at home to Inter tomorrow. So travel time there, stuff like that can play a factor, especially when players are already knackered as it is. So
I know, bro. Thursday games for Champions League are just gonna take some getting used to.
That's a whole traveling day and a whole day
Yeah.
extra for City to rest up as well.
Yeah,
City. It's funny. City always gets fucked with youth Champions League games. They always play like they always play
not Champions League games,
Wednesday.
Champions League group stages. They just finesse that like no
true.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, it's one of the benefits of being Manchester City. They run the Premier League, so it's just how it works. But look, I think I as an Arsenal fan will take a little bit of solace in how the game against Brentford went. I did watch a good amount of that game. I think Thomas Frank set his team up perfectly. It really just came down to individual quality.
Yeah, I watched the second half of that game. City had a lot of chances in that second half where they just couldn't finish it. I think Brentford had one on the counterattack that they fluffed. So, but the goal was just jammy, wasn't it? Pretty much.
But I mean, what else are you gonna do if you're Brentford? I mean, that's
for sure.
That's really how you have to set up. But I do think what Pep said after the game and how he commended Frank and how he set up his men. I think Brentford is always going to be a tricky team to play against. I know when we have to play them, it'll be that way too. So,
If
but
I'm
at the end
not
of the day,
mistaken, Brentford has actually played City tight, like at least the last few times. Like it hasn't been easy for City to beat Brentford.
Same thing with Arsenal, bro. Thomas Frank sets up against Arsenal. We've never blown out Brentford. It's always been a close game every single time. So, like, I think he knows how to set up against the big teams, and how to go at the teams that are more at Brentford's level. But in this game, last season, this did end in a draw and a cagey draw at the Etihad, one in which Arteta was very heavily criticized for how his team was set up. I think. When frankly, I'll be honest, both games I think to me felt very cagey. We just happened to get the
games should have been
counterattack
draws in the end as well. Both. I think the Arsenal win there was the the fat deflection. Was it Martinelli who shot it?
Who shot it, and it went off Ake,
before
it crossed into the
net. That's like
fine
margin. So I mean, you could say both game lines were pretty much 0-0. Like they both played they both played as a 0-0.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it'll be close. I think neither team is going to risk a ton. I think that City will rely upon individual quality more than anything else. They'll do what they do. I expect Arsenal to do, especially without Odegaard. And I will say this, man. I'll be critical of my team, and I will be critical of the Premier League actually in general. If anybody in the audience watched the North London derby, it was the biggest shit show from a midfield standpoint I've probably seen in a long time. Like,
wasn't good.
La Liga is so much more technical on a dribbling level with individual players and talents than Premier League. It's not even comparable.
It always is.
But I hate these shouts that like, oh, Premier League is the best league in the world. Like, dude, if you watch that game, it was shite. In the midfield, Arsenal, Spurs, both of them, neither of them could dribble. It was so poor to watch. I honestly just wasn't inspired at all. Getting to watch Barcelona play like during the middle of that North London derby kind of saved me a little bit. I was like, finally, I get to see some like proper football being played. I don't know, man. It doesn't inspire me at all.
Quickly on this game, I think another big deciding factor is how these teams will line up midweek. Would they make one or two rotations ahead of this game? City are at home. I can see them making maybe against City's depth is just ridiculous, right? So I don't think they'll rest Haaland per se, but maybe De Bruyne can be on the bench and Bernardo Silva starts. Same with their back line as well. Pep has that ability to make one or two changes, even though Inter are a very difficult team, best team in City, but they're at home. So
who would you rest if you wanted to rotate Haaland? Who would it be for?
No one. I'd play him. Strikers are need to play week in, week out unless there's like a cup game, like Man United Day. Strikers need that minutes. I talked a lot about this with Lewandowski as well. At least strikers always play week in, week out. Haaland, Lewandowski, Suarez, Benzema,
Harry Kane does it.
Harry Kane for Spurs. Even they always have to play week in, week out because their form and their constant momentum comes down to whether they score or not. And that's how their form, entails. That's why everyone's glazing him now. Then in 4 weeks' time, when he doesn't score and he has a stinker, Jose will say, what can Haaland do outside from scoring goals? It's always that kind of narrative, not just for Haaland, but for all strikers that have no build-up play movement. So
all true number 9s, right? All true 9s, yeah.
Yeah. I think having this game will look to maybe rotate 1 or 2, like a De Bruyne, maybe a Stones, a Diaz, because he has that squad depth to be able to do that. So
I think if he does rotate, I'm expecting Raheem Sterling to. I think he will. At least in some positions. Saka especially came off cramping in the last 5 minutes of the game. I really hope we rotate him.
Arteta's not that guy, man.
I know. Trust me, I know. But I'm saying I'm hoping for it.
He's not going to rotate. I mean, there's
Atlanta away now. That's not a walk in the park either.
No, I know we have to win. I'm just saying that, like
if it's like a Young Boys away or like Red Star Belgrade, something like that, you can be like, I can play Sterling. It's away from home, whatever. But Atlanta is, no mean feat. I think Barcelona play them as well. So
yeah, it's gonna be a tough game for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just hoping. That is my fingers crossed as I wait for the lineups to drop on Thursday. Is please, for the love of God, rotate some of our playmakers. I still think, with Declan getting technically the rest against Spurs, he'll probably feature in
he can play them both for sure. Yeah.
I think our back line will probably we might see Calafiori as opposed to Timber, because Timber's still getting back up to it. And outside of that, we may see someone like Trossard as opposed to Martinelli. Outside of that, though, I don't see a ton of rotation for Arsenal. It's probably going to be right around there. My fingers crossed, though, that Raheem Sterling maybe doesn't start, but at least takes Saka off at like 60. I would just love to get him to get some rest before one of the biggest games of the season. And if he doesn't, I'm not saying he's going to play it any worse. It's just my boy has played so many games. He just needs to, he needs a rotation at some point. He really does.
Yeah.
In this game, I think it'll be cagey. It won't be a sexy game. I think Arsenal will sit a little bit back, absorb pressure like they did against Spurs, and really try to make sure that Haaland has limited amount of touches on the ball. I think it's going to be, at best, a 1-1. City might win, but it could be a 0-0. It really could.
It could be. It's going to be. It could be another low-scoring game.
Yeah.
I mean,
I cannot believe.
Honestly, I think
game again, man. I've been finessed with these schedules lately. Missed the North London Derby. I'm missing this game. It's just
yeah.
It is what it is, bro. Multiple screens, man. Well, you're streaming, so you can't.
No, hell no.
Yeah, you're streaming.
When my team plays, they got my undivided attention.
That's fair. That's fair. It's gonna be a good game. The match of the weekend for the Prem for sure. So I'm gonna back a draw. I just think it's gonna end the same way it did last season at the Etihad.
I'm gonna go City 1-0.
Yeah, City 1-0.
I really wanted to say Arsenal just in case they get they just nick it, and I can just get the credit for it.
If that happens, this whole thing is rigged.
I think Odegaard missing this game is even though he hasn't had the great start to the season, I feel like just Odegaard not being there is just.
I already predicted 2 draws.
He didn't even play well against City last season. If you guys remember,
no, he didn't. But it's just his presence being. It's more of his presence being there in the match more than anything else.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think,
bro, we needed Odegaard to be fair against Spurs.
I was going to say, to piggyback off the Spurs match, is like that. It was not him missing that game and Rice is just catastrophic.
Yeah.
So
no one to actually break through the lines or creatively find the passing outlets. It was tough, bro. I mean, I will say this too. No one, I better never hear Kai Havertz slander on the timeline ever again. I think it's not his goals. His goals are great, but it's just the work this kid puts in now, week in and week out. He's everywhere. He's literally everywhere, man. I now have an adoration for
you got
Kai
the one
Havertz.
that's not injury prone.
yeah, no shit. Yeah, I don't know what it is, bro, but it's Arteta's been able to get the best out of him, and we really needed him to do all the work they did against Spurs. So I have to do it again against City, because without Odegaard, I don't know. I thought Trossard could be the guy. Max talked about it a little bit the last episode too. Maybe he's just a pure finisher. I don't know, but he's not necessarily the playmaker that I think you and I both thought he probably could.
Yeah.
Be. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right. So Hoffman, you did not make a pick, bro.
I don't want to go drunk. I've already predicted 2 draws. I don't want to make it 3 in a row.
Oh, yeah, the fence rider. Yeah.
I kind of feel like there's a bit of a revenge arc from City as well from last season, from the criticism that they gave to Arsenal for their 2 games. I think 4 out of 6 points. I'll go City. City.
So we have 3 cities and 1
Arsenal
draw.
would not be fuming though. I was close to picking them.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think this game will be a draw.
I'm not I could see it.
Yeah. Yeah, look. Look, if City wins too, we're probably going to hear, "Oh, Arsenal fucking bottled the title
I will
again."
ask,
not too early.
What if Arsenal does win this? Like, what does this mean for the rest of the season for Arsenal? Like, you beat City at the Etihad.
It means fuck every other competition and go for the Prem. That's
what
it means.
That's what I was talking about. You beat City at the Etihad. Now, something that you haven't done the last 2 seasons.
If I'm Arteta, I'd rotate every single midweek game and just.
Does this mean now you have to go all out?
But he won't. Like we all know he won't, right?
I know
like
he won't, but that's what he should do.
That. Yeah, I mean, Arteta won't. He won't put too much stock into it. I'll be honest. Like he just won't. If we were to beat City and go ahead of them in the table, we should take advantage of this shit and really push the premise as far as we could possibly push it. But it all just depends on when certain players come back. Odegaard. It all depends on like whether or not Raheem Sterling's going to pan out. Like his ability to rotate now all depends on him actually giving some of these players a chance. I just don't know if he will. We have yet to even see Calafiori was our first signing of the summer. Still have yet to see him get significant minutes. He hasn't done it. And so Merino hasn't featured. Granted, he fractured his fucking shoulder, day one, but I don't know, man. It's a great question, Max. I don't think he would though. I really think he would go Pep. In terms of like going after every trophy imaginable, and that could come back to bite us in the ass. It really could. But if we were to win this game, I would like to think that would approach it tactfully and try to rotate and prioritize the Premier League. But he's just never done it in the 4 seasons he's been here, 5 seasons he's been here. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's a great question. All right, but those are our predictions. That is our preview for game week 5. Let's go to quickfire predictions and we'll get out of here, man. All right,
quick fire one with Forrest. When I said Forrest hasn't lost a game yet,
bro, so many of us, by the way, had Forrest.
I think we all had Forrest.
Yeah, Forrest going down.
I said
the supercomputer still has them going down.
Nah, I don't.
Like it changed.
I low key still feel like they're gonna go down.
I still think they're gonna go
shit
down.
The bed, like just have a long stretch of losses.
Yeah. I just think they hadn't had a good start. I think once the teams start getting into the rhythm and stuff like that, they'll suffer some points. But that win against Liverpool was huge because if they lose that game, let me check real quick. If they lose,
what a hit by Hudson-Odoi, by the way. Like
they'd be like in 12th, right?
Fucking hit.
Yeah,
I mean, because it's like you look at their first 3 games. It was Bournemouth at home, Southampton, and Wolves. I mean, 2 of those 3s we have at the bottom, and then obviously that Liverpool win. Just you're like, okay, that's just a decent, easy schedule, but now beating Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
They got a tough stretch coming.
Look, we have Brighton in 6th, Forest in 7th, and Brentford in 9th. Like it's just it's an interesting time that we're entering.
The table hasn't balanced yet, though. You gotta wait for the first 10 games.
I agree. The dog days of winter are coming, so we'll see. All right, let's get into it. Villa hosting Wolves.
Villa,
probably Villa. Yeah.
Morgan Rogers masterclass incoming. I think. Bro, he's.
They might actually start Duran.
Oh yeah, bro!
He scored again.
That worldy, holy shit,
banger goal.
Oh my goodness! By the way, was once upon a time in MLS. Just saying. All right, Liverpool hosting Bournemouth. Tricky game.
No, a draw. Where's it at Anfield?
At Anfield. If they lose to Forest and draw to Bournemouth, is Arne Slot in trouble, bro?
Yeah, he's not in trouble, but
he's not in trouble. But
people are be happy.
Their expectations just to get top 4. They're not really. No one's really expecting them to be in a title race.
But still, man, that's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Who they signed this summer as well? Mamardashvili and Chiesa.
Who we still haven't seen, right? Chiesa,
Chiesa played today against
Chiesa played for I think at the end of the
5
Bayern
minutes
game.
Okay.
Yeah, like he got subbed on in like 93rd minute.
I mean, he's injury prone, so you have to approach that carefully.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to take Liverpool in this one. I don't think they dropped 2 games like that back to back.
Yeah,
but
especially at Anfield as well.
Yeah, at Anfield.
Never mind. About Liverpool. Forgot about
that. All right, there you go. We got it.
I got Liverpool.
Yeah, same. Southampton hosting Ipswich.
Boring 0-0. I can sense it now.
Yeah.
Ipswich. If there's any team that's just as bad as Everton, it's Southampton. So I'm gonna go Ipswich.
I'm gonna say a draw here.
Same.
I'm gonna say Ipswich here for the upset. If it is an upset, I know 2 newly promoted teams. Maybe it's not, but give me that. Give me a Delap goal for 1-0.
Too even to pick.
Give me a Delap goal. Trap game potential. Spurs hosting Brentford.
Brentford. Give me Brentford.
He said that shit with his chest
Give
immediately.
me Brentford.
I think Brentford. They like you
Bro,
said.
this is the worst start for Spurs since the 80s. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It's like 88.
Frank knows how to play big teams, and it's at Spurs, and you got post North London Derby. I don't know if they,
and I will say I saw
they
some
play,
stat.
I think they play on Thursday or
Yeah.
Wednesday. I think they play midweek too. So
I'm
interesting. I saw some stat. I think I forgot what it was, but it was like Ange has only won like 2 games since like March or something like that.
Bro, he's I think he's only kept. This is what's crazy about this, by the way. You know, when you talk about Arsenal, Tottenham backlines and whatnot, that backline's only kept a clean sheet 4 times, like the last calendar year, something along those lines. Like if that, like the last 12 months, they've only kept like 4 clean sheets. I don't know. Is Big Ange overhyped?
I forgot exactly what the stat was, but like it wasn't a great, like it was a terrible stat, and like he should have been crucified for it. But yet, you know, I play my style my way, and I'm always going to play like that. That overshadows what's been happening. But he hasn't really I got to find it again and I'll post in the group chat. But it was like
his start was too good. That's the problem. He was top at when they went to the first international break last season. Everyone's blazing him. Oh, his last name is long. He's Australian, and everyone's just gassed about it.
They're screaming Invincibles from the top of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Yeah,
and the reality hits. This will be a nice little Tottenham 2-0 win, though.
Since the beginning of March, he's only won 5 games.
Yes,
Ooh.
That's what it was. Yes, thank you.
That's crazy. I keep the agenda alive, boys. I'm going Brentford. And
it should be sacked before Christmas. You never know.
I don't know who they would get. Would that be a David Moyes hire?
No, they would not. They would
Could
not.
you imagine?
That would be.
I would laugh so fucking hard at Tottenham, bro. It'd be hilarious.
They won't sack
Sean Dyche.
He's too loved.
Sean Dyche, yes. Get him out of Everton and bring him to Spurs.
He's too loved by the fan base. They wouldn't sack him unless the whole fan base, turns on him.
We'll see. I've already seen some Ange out for the Derby, but
really, I've seen none of that.
I've seen some. I like the Football Terror, some of the other channels, right, where you got those creators trying to make hot takes. But at the end of the day, I think there's just some of it where some of them are getting fed up, and I could see why. All right, finally, Brighton hosting a Forest.
This is actually a pretty good game.
It's a good game,
but
it is. Good game.
I think Forest finally lose.
We said Brighton are coming off a 0-0 1-1 against Ipswich. They drew against them.
Draw. I don't know why. I think Evan Nilsson's going to make up for the missed PK, and maybe it's like a 1-1.
I think Brighton will narrowly win this game, like a 2-1, like a 1-0.
Yeah, I think
it'll be scrappy more so than quality.
Because I mean, I don't know. You guys don't read into that 0-0 draw at Ipswich?
No, not really.
Shit happens.
No, shit happens.
It does happen.
You're playing against a complete low block team. Like sometimes shit doesn't work out.
That's when you have to rely on individual brilliance and do Brentford. Do Brighton have that?
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, so we got all of our picks in for this episode. Good show, guys. And look, guys, if you're to this point of the episode, we thank you. Do me a favor, again, like the video down below, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what your predictions are. Any hot takes you have for match week 5. Look, one of the biggest games of the season is on the horizon. Some other interesting matchups as well. Some teams that got to get up for this one. Looking at you, Sean Dyche, Everton. You need to fucking win. Do something about it. But yeah, look, that's it. That's everything for match week 5. For everybody here at Yanks at the Round Table, my name's Jose. That's Austin. That's Max. That's Hoffman. We'll catch you guys next time.